Leah Tortilla presents.
Hey guys, it's me, Leah Tortilla, and welcome back to another exciting episode. Today I'll be showing you how to prepare and cook black pudding and sage Scotch eggs. I would say that this recipe has been requested, but actually I've been pretty much begged to do this recipe by two very special people. My mum's friend Susie and my cousin Steve. There you go guys, that's your shout out. But finally, as requested, Scotch eggs. To start, you're going to need a log of sausage meat. Now, I don't think you can buy this in the supermarket, so you're going to have to take a trip down to your local butcher's. Also, I've made these Scotch eggs so many times that I don't actually know the measurements, so I'll be telling you the ingredients and I'll be working it out by eye. I know that doesn't really help you guys, but I'm sure you're smart enough to work it out yourselves. I hope. Before we start making the Scotch egg mix, you're going to need to boil some eggs. I'm not going to show you how to boil eggs because boiling eggs is so simple that it really doesn't take a genius to do that. But you want to soft boil these for around 7 minutes, so they're still a little bit runny in the middle, and you can tell because they're still quite squishy. So, into a bowl, you want your sausage meat. Now, this recipe is a lot easier if you have a RoboCoupe, so like a blendery thing, but I'm going to try my best to do this with my hands and a knife. Home cooking. We're going to take our stick or log of black pudding, and we're basically going to chop this as fine as we can, so it's pretty much minced. And, you know, with a knife, it's probably not going to be as good as it would have been if I had a machine to blend it all up. But, you know, not everyone can afford a blending machine, so we just have to do with what we've got, which is our hands. So basically, you just want to keep chopping and chopping and chopping at your black pudding until it crumbles up nice and fine. It's a bit of a tedious process, but, you know, the end product will be worth it, I assure you. And there you go. That's probably about as crumbly as I'm going to be able to get it with a knife. So we add the black pudding to the sausage meat. You know, I do like to make a mess, don't I? And to our black pudding and sausage mix, I'm going to add a sprinkling of sage, dried sage. You can use fresh sage, but once again, you're going to have to keep chopping at that until it's nice and fine. As always, we add salt and pepper. You can't go wrong with a bit of seasoning. Now for the fun part. You're going to get your hands in there and you're going to really, really make sure that the black pudding is mixed in to the sausage meat. And there we have our Scotch egg mix. Now we're going to make our Scotch eggs. Make sure you have a bowl to put your hand in of water, so like that. It makes the sausage mix easier to manipulate and move. Usually I have a silver ring that I would place onto the chopping board, and I use that as a mould for how much sausage meat I need per egg. But I'm at home and not at work, so I'm going to have to do this by going to make it into a nice flat circle shape. Just a quick tip before we get moulding our Scotch eggs. You put your boiled eggs into some flour and it helps the sausage mix stick to the eggs better. Anyway, back to the Scotch eggs. So, we take the floured egg and put it in the centre of our meat, and then we gather the sausage meat around the egg. I'm going to do this so that you can see it properly, but you want to manipulate the sausage meat around the egg. Be gentle so that you don't split the egg in half, because then yolk will go everywhere and you will have ruined your Scotch egg. You want the egg to stay whole. There we go. Just like that. You don't want any gaps. You just wet your hand a bit and smooth over the meat. There we go. That's ready to be breadcrumbed. I will show you again with my second egg just to make sure that you guys get it. Also, the thinner that you have your sausage meat, the quicker it will cook. But obviously the thicker that you have your sausage meat, the longer time it will cook, and also the bigger the Scotch egg you'll have. But we want them quite thin so that they don't take forever to cook. Otherwise, you risk overcooking the egg on the inside. But obviously we want, because it's pork, we want it to be fully cooked so we don't poison anybody. There we go. Scotch egg. And as always, I've made far too much mix, so with the rest of this, I'll be turning into sausage rolls. Now we're moving on to the final few stages of our Scotch eggs. We've got our panne section here, so flour, egg and breadcrumb. And I think you know what I'm going to do. We're going to roll our Scotch egg in the flour. Tap off any excess. We're going to bathe it in the egg. Once again, tap off any excess. Then into the breadcrumbs and give it a good shake. There we go. Lovely. And we do the same again to the other two. Now we're ready to cook our Scotch eggs. You're right there, Elan. So we're going to heat our ovens up at 180 degrees. So unfortunately at home I don't have a deep fat fryer, so we're just going to have to shallow fry our Scotch eggs in a frying pan. So add some oil to a pan and get that really hot. Here we go. Now our oil is nice and hot. We're going to place our Scotch eggs in there and we're going to keep turning them until they're nice and golden brown. Get yourself a pair of tongs. See, the browning process doesn't take long at all. And you can splash the oil gently up against them as well if you wish. Just be careful because this oil is very, very hot and I don't want any of you burning yourselves. Now once your Scotch eggs are nice and golden brown, take them off the heat, place them on a baking tray and into your nice hot oven. So if I were at work, these would have just come out of the deep fat fryer and they would be going into our industrial oven at 180 degrees like I've told you to put your home oven on. And that usually takes between 10 and 15 minutes to make sure that the pork is cooked through. So I'm going to put these in for around 15 minutes at home because it's a home oven, and we'll see where we go from there. I'll get a temperature probe and make sure that the pork is at 65 degrees. Rightio, these bad boys have been in the home oven for around 15 minutes. So I'm going to probe the pork and it should read 65 degrees or more if it's ready. The minute I'm reading 55, it's going up and up and up, and we are on way above 60. It's up to 70 degrees, so these bad boys are ready. Okay. We have our Scotch egg, and we're going to gently saw it in half. Look at that, beautifully cooked Scotch egg. Now, with these Scotch eggs, you can either serve them hot or cold. It's up to you, as long as you've cooked them through beforehand. You don't want to be eating a raw Scotch egg. Just a serving suggestion, if you're going to serve them hot, serve them with a side of applesauce and salad. Well, it's just a suggestion, so you do what you want. Or you could have them for a picnic, you know, Scotch egg, sandwiches, pork pie, typically British. There you have it, my black pudding and sage Scotch eggs. I hope you've all enjoyed this movie. No, I hope you've all enjoyed this episode, especially Susie and Steve. I hope you're happy that you got your request through. And if anybody else has any requests, feel free to leave them for me. I know in a few weeks' time I've got to do a vegan chocolate brownie. I'm quite excited to do that. And I will see you guys next week. Don't forget to leave a comment, like this video, and share it, you know, subscribe to my channel, all of that stuff. I'll see you next week. Bye guys.